This is just an update on the trees and the shrubs that I'm growing. So I did my first video on these at the end of summer, so now we're getting to the end of autumn. It's just interesting to see how they've grown. So first cab off the rank is blakelyi's red gum. So here's image from 3 months ago. The one on the left there I planted. The one on the right was the one where a bird snapped it and it started growing more to the sides. And the one at the back is just another one that I had. So here they are now, growing really, really well. So that one is just steadily getting bigger. I missed that one last time, actually. This one here's got huge. It's about 1 meter tall. Still growing because we've had quite a long and sunny autumn. That's where it broke off originally. And now it's looking really strong and healthy. So that's the other one from the video before, also looking fantastic with a really solid stem there and good leaf growth. So the second ones I had here with the Corymbia ficifolia, I planted out a couple of these, and this was probably the biggest ones here have been planted out in the yard. And so how's the other ones going? I've probably got about a dozen of these, doing fantastic, great leaf growth. Good stem growth. That one's been caterpillar mauled, but otherwise, yeah, I'm really propping up the ones now that were leaning over to the side. And yeah, so this one here is one that got clipped at the top. It started growing massively out the sides, but then for some unknown reason, all the leaves started dying. Now I think this die-off has stopped now because we can see just a little bit of growth there. Yeah, but otherwise, these are just doing great. Oh, that one there, that's where I cut the leaves off in a different video a couple of weeks ago because they were getting that browning you can see on the lower leaves. Straight away, it started growing new leaves, so hopefully it stops. That one there is just looking really, really good, growing vertical on its own. Next, we've got the Coast Banksia. So this is a video from from December, where you can, that one, the big one on the right there I planted out, but I had all these little ones in these growing tubes here. So these are all going really well. As you can see, they've all got really different growth patterns. This one's got these massive long leaves. There's other ones that have got short leaves and thick stems, but generally just doing really, really well. The ones that were flailing before, yeah, I love this one actually. Look how nice that is. It's got a really thick stem, that one. It's probably my favorite, even though it's not necessarily the tallest. But yeah, some of the ones that were a bit feeble before are still a bit taking along to catch on, as you can see. The next is the Manna Gum. I notice with these Manna Gums, they just have a habit of growing tall and leggy and usually bending over, except for this one here, which managed to stay tall. So this is from December. So we'll just see how much growth we've had. We've had really good growth. So look at this. So yeah, I've propped up some of them. Some of these little ones too, they're quite slowly going. But they're still going, they're doing all right. And as they get to a certain point too, I've noticed in autumn they're growing a lot to the sides. Yeah, so this is still that one there, the only one that seems to have not gone all leggy to the side and growing its own solid stem. So I correctly labeled one of these Manna, which is actually yellow box gum, Eucalyptus meliodora. So I picked these seeds, and with the Manna Gum, and as the leaves have grown, I've noticed a different leaf structure. Then I remember that I actually did pick meliodora seeds. Drooping Sheoak. So here is the February video. So there was only one that was doing really well. It's basically the same now, unfortunately. The others have just stayed just little and leggy and done nothing, except for this one, which I definitely am going to plant out at the back, which just keeps growing and keeps getting a sturdier and sturdier root. So I look forward to planting that. I'm just preparing its area kind of as we speak. Not sure when I'll plant it out. This was the Zig Zag Wattle. So I did plant this one out, not a locally indigenous species as discussed before, but I've had a couple of others shoot up since, and it's called a zigzag wattle. That's a perfect example. See the zigzagging stem? That's literally why it's called it. So yeah, a few of them. It's undecided whether or not I'll plant these ones out. These ones here, I actually don't know whether they are also the zigzag wattle or something else. From memory, they lose these spiky things that turn into the zigzag leaves, but I'm going to defer until I see what happens. The prickly Moses, this is a shrub, a small shrub. However, this one I'm going to plant out. I've only got one with a leaf there. Here was them in February. I planted almost all of those out except for that one. But yeah, I've got about 15 or nearly even 20 of these growing little babies right now. So I do plan on growing a lot more of these and planting a lot more out. Here's all of them together, so include with the babies and including some grasses, there's about 200 plants there. Hopefully there's no frost this winter and that they survive, and one of the things that I probably will not do is water them for the next 3 months. So growth's probably going to stop now, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.